Hello everyone, I'm Japay. So today's section is about the Internal Purchase Order Applet. This is an icon for the Internal Purchase Order. What is purchase order? Purchase order is a commercial document issued by a buyer to a seller, indicating types, quantities, and agreed prices for products and services required. This is used to control the purchasing of products and services from external suppliers. In our internal purchase order, the short code is PURODR. In the purchase order applet, the main screen is the listing. So in the listing, we can do the advanced search for the purchase order. We can search by the supplier, search by the branches, search by the transaction date or creation date, filter by the purchaser, and then you can filter by the posting status. The posting status will be the draft, final, void, or discard. Then you can search by the GL dimension, segment, profit center, or project. So this part is for the department header to use to filter the information. Okay. In the create purchase order, in the main details, we have few tabs. The first tab is a main details, account, and lines. So the next one is KO4. And then in the edit purchase order screen, we beside the main detail account lines, we can trace document. We can view the dot link between the purchase order and other documents. You can attach external information to the attachment tab. You can export the PO to PDF or to the different format. And you can view the purchase order events. So who is creating the transaction, then who update the information, then you can view in the events. In the knockoff part, we have two parts for the knockoff. So in the purchase order, we usually knock off from blanket purchase order or purchase quotation or purchase requisition. So one of them you can just knock off in the purchase order. And then after you creating the purchase order, the next step will be receive the stock. So when you receive the stock, we have two applet. You can use an internal purchase GRN applet or internal purchase GRN stock in applet. But usually we will go to the internal purchase GRN applet. In the creation step, we have two methods to create the purchase order. Method one is we fill in all the information in the main details. So in the main details, you can select your branch. So when you select the branch, it's followed by the location. If you want to deliver to another branch or another location, then you need to choose for the delivery branch or delivery location. Okay, then you can indicate who is your purchaser. The transaction date, by default, the transaction date not able to change. If you want to change the transaction date, then you need a permission to change the transaction date. Okay. Then every purchase order, you can mention the validity date in how many days. So once you update the days, like this PO valid for 30 days, so the end date will calculate based on your validity date. And then any reference transaction from the supplier, you can just add to the reference column, and any remarks you need to mention to the supplier, you can key into remarks column. Okay, so in account tab, you can choose a supplier account. Then in the lines item tab, you need to choose an item and update the pricing. Okay, so this is method one. Then method two, we directly go to the knockoff tab, that is KO4. In your KO4, still remember what type of transaction? Yeah, the knockoff from is from the blanket purchase order, purchase quotation, or purchase requisition. Okay, so you can just select one of these transaction. Then once you selected the transaction, system will go to fill in all the main detail, account, and lines. Then system will create a purchase order for you. Okay, then when we create a new purchase order, the first status will be the draft status. Then in draft, you can continue save as draft. Then in draft mode, you can edit the PO. So once you confirm everything, then you just change the status to final. After you final the purchase order, you're not able to change the information anymore. So if you want to change the data, you need to unfinal the transaction. So later on, we have another section called unfinal it, okay, or change the final to draft mode, okay. And then for the draft transaction, if any cancellation you want to do, you can just discard the PO. So if after final, then if you want to cancel the transaction, you need to click the void button to void the purchase order. So this void is before you go to next action. So that means before you go to GRN, if you want to void the PO, you can just void or cancel the PO. After you receive the PO, that means in GRN, you're not allowed to void anymore. So if you want to cancel the receiving transaction, then we have another function called what? We have another function called close status, okay? So the related applet to the related function to the applet is line item report. So the PO by line. Just now the first report is the listing by the purchase order. The next report is line item report. So the purchase order by item. And then we have a purchase order queue. So this is to give you a listing for which purchase order not yet GRN. Okay. Then we have one more function called multi-purchase order. You can create a PO to multiple branches or multiple locations by adding the same item. Okay, but this one will cover in next section. Okay, so next one is file import menu. We can import the file, then we can export the file. So beside this one, we can create our intercompany transaction. So before I go to next slide, I will go to system first. Then in the system, you can search for the purchase order. So this is the landing page for the purchase order. You can see the side menu here. So this is under our testing tenant. So side menu, the first one, it will be the purchase order. So in this menu, we can view the purchase order listing. In the advanced search, just now I mentioned you can filter by supplier, branches, transaction date, and the purchaser. Or usually we can filter by our posting status. Okay, and then in the listing, so you still remember what is our purchase order shortcode? PURODR. So this is the shortcode for the purchase order. And every transaction we have three numbers. So there is a tenant number. So this number is for the global running number. And then the next one is company running number and branch running number. Okay. And then you can see all the PO with the status, final, discard, draft, or void. And we have another status called active or inactive, but usually these status you can just leave it. And every transaction, we provide you a branch code to view this transaction is under which branch and what is the currency for the purchase order, your supplier name, and who is the purchaser. Then in this listing, you can view the amount transaction, order quantity, order received, order outstanding. So quantity outstanding, amount order, amount received, amount outstanding. And then you can check the creation date, updated date, transaction date, created by who. Okay. The next part is the header department for the GL dimension, segment, profit center, or the project. So in this listing, if you don't want to view all the information, you can click the column here to untick to hide the view. So once you change this information, this one will save to your personalization. So that means